Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 21 of ORL season 10 here at Abu Dhabi for the final race of the season. Now, before we get into things, we do have something to announce. It is Weebs' final race after 10 years of racing in esports. Weebs is retiring, so he has created a video on YouTube which will be shown at the start and at the end of the stream. So here it is for the start. So guys, do enjoy, and after the video we will be heading straight into things with practice. See you then.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been finding ways We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong, and I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
Is running just behind us, right on board with them as Weebs takes himself out.
Let it all go.
He tried to hold it round the outside. Weebs got the better exit, but Toffee had the DRS round the outside of turn 2. Can he make it stick? He has. Weebs has held on to the position. Great racing between the two of them.
I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
Of course, a massive thank you to Weebs for his 10 years of racing and his 3 years of racing with ORL. He's been with ORL since season 8. We will miss you, but of course you are always more than welcome to join us for races, especially in next season. However, now that that is done, we can start looking forward, looking ahead to this championship, this epic championship finale battle between FormulaDani and Calcifer. Just to run everyone through how everything stands, Danny currently sits 15 points behind Calcifer. If Danny wins the race, Calcifer needs to finish 4th, or sorry, if Danny wins the race, Calcifer will need to finish 5th or higher. Let me just double check that. Yes, Calcifer will need to finish above 5th. If Calcifer finishes 5th, Danny will win the championship based on number of race wins. So now that that's done, if Danny comes in 2nd, Calcifer will have to finish in 8th to win the championship, and if Danny finishes in 3rd, Calcifer just has to finish in 10th and take 1 point to win the championship. Only 15 points separating these guys. Danny, if we look back at all of his races this season. He has raced in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's raced in 11 races since Austria, only missing out Britain. He won 8 of those, 2 seconds in Brazil and Italy, and 3rd in Germany. And if he does miss out on this championship, he will be kicking himself, especially for the Germany race, where he could have picked up an extra 10 points. Even in Brazil as well, unforced error when entering the pit lane resulted in the 5-second stop-go penalty, which caused him to finish behind his teammate Velocity James. So anything can happen heading into this final race. Guys, get your predictions in. I want to see the chat lit up. I want to know who you think is going to win the championship and where each of these guys will finish the race. Okay, sorry, something just popped up. Right, and we are about to get underway. We're just waiting for the invite, and then we will be in the lobby. So that will happen in just a short second, as usual. For those of you guys, if you do want to skip through practice session and go straight to the race, the race will probably start around 8:30. So tune in then for the race. Or if you want to stick around for practice and qualifying, we will be getting underway very shortly. As we just see all of the messages coming through in the group chat. Okay, so almost got the invite, and then we will be ready to go. But just make sure that everything is working nice and smoothly, and it all seems to be pretty good right now. We should do an interview with Weebs tonight. Yes, we definitely will. We recorded an episode of the podcast with Weebs on it. There have been a few technical issues with that, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to release it or how long it will take for me to release it, because I made a little bit of an error when creating it. Hopefully though, we will be able to get everything going very, very nicely, because it was actually a great video. So however, don't forget, this is going to be a very, very spicy with FormulaDani and Calcifer. Calcifer, if we look at his previous race results, 4th, 6th, 4th, 7th, while Danny has had first, and 2nd. Danny is he's ridiculously quick. However, Fabrizio Donoso and Williams Tim are racing today, and they are both very, very fast. They're racing right on the bubble with him. They had their race in AOR earlier this week, and actually Danny and Tim crushed each other out of the race on the final lap. So we could see some very, very tense moments in this race. This race isn't over yet. Let me just put it like that. It's not over yet. Right, okay, and I think we have just got the invite. No, it's not coming through just yet. Hopefully it will come through in just a second. But guys, bring in your predictions. Who do you think is going to win the race? Who's going to be on the top for qualifying? And more importantly than who wins the race, who is going to win the championship? Will it be Calcifer, the current reigning champion, the current leader of the championship, or will it be FormulaDani, who's been clawing his way from over 100 points down since about the halfway point of the season? And he has done a fantastic job of that, and he's really closing in Calcifer Only 15 points separating them, and it's all to play for as we head into this final race of Season 10 of ORL. I'm not sure why we have such a delay, but hang on, let me just request the invite. Hey, we got an invite. Nice. Okay, let's go. I'm hyped for this. I hope you guys are as well. I forgot my water, so there may be some very, very hoarse moments, but let's see. If the game wants to load in. Right, hang on. Oh, there we go. We've got the invite, so it should. Spectating, let's go. Oh, wow. Right, okay, we're heading into practice, and yeah, I forgot to mute all. Oh well, we didn't have enough time. We got invited a little bit late to the server, but it should all be good as we head into the race. Right. Oh, I am actually so hyped for this. I just have a massive smile on my face because I know what is to come in this race. I haven't seen what's going to happen, but this is going to be absolutely insane. So let's run ourselves over all of the super quick guys. Like when I say quick, I'm talking about these guys are ridiculously fast. They're like always in the top 100 of time trials. It's just disgusting. So we've got FormulaDani, we've got Williams Tim, he's in Sauber. We have of course got Photon. We have got Fabrizio Donoso. Who else do we have? We've got Hayes. As FormulaDani's retired from the session instantly. Okay. We've also, I'm not sure if you guys are going to believe this, but Stoffel Van Dorn and Max Verstappen are racing in this race. There's some crazy scenes. But jokes aside, Tim, we've got Muller racing. Remember, he unfortunately had that incident in Brazil, lost the back end through turn, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 5. He lost the back end through turn 5 and ended up in the walls. He was actually battling for 4th place at the time, so again, very quick, and he has been doing that all season. So, your exceptionally quick drivers are FormulaDani, Tim, Photon, Donoso, Hayes, Muller, G3RRX, and running probably right behind G3, you're going to have Calcifer. Your main man, Calcifer, will be there. And then behind him, you're probably going to have Flex's Marcy, followed by Elsinger and Backpacker. However, let's go on board with our usual suspect, Elsinger, who is, of course, the first person out on track. He's out on a set of ultra soft tyres. Let's go on city for now, but we do have half an hour of practice. FormulaDani has left session, so he may be... Actually, I just realised something. My game sound isn't on. Oopsie daisy. Right. Where are you? There we go. And sound is indeed on. Thank you very much, R21, for pointing that out. I always forget something. It's always good when you've got R7 in the background. For those of you who don't know, R7 is the league administrator who watches with a very careful beady eye as I pass the commentator over the racing. But right, Elsinger is out on his first lap. It's always usually Elsinger who does the first lap of every session. But let's just sit on board with him then, as I think everything should be working out. Yes, it has popped up on my screen. This is the issue with not having a second screen, and you have to use your phone. It's just a bit half the way. Anyway, Elsinger making his way through turn 7 onto the back straight, trying to feed the power in nice and smooth, so easy to the back end. And now watch for the braking point as he approaches the chicane of 8 and 9. Where will he brakes after the 100-meter board. Let me know how the sound is, if the game sound needs to be brought up or down or not. Alright, DRS activated for Elsinger as he's heading in towards turn 11. What most people find as the preferred part of this circuit. Surprisingly, as we found out in the podcast, not many people like this circuit, or unsurprisingly, a lot of people don't like this circuit. It's not a very catchy circuit, as Elsinger approaches 15, 16 and 17, slows it right down, a little bit of lock up on that front left tire, pull it back over to the right as you swing it in through 18 and 19, drop it down to third gear, put the power back on as you now approach 20. Be nice and patient through turn 20, where when you brakes just before the curb starts. Try to feed it through, misses the apex slightly. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 1:37.0. Watch out for 33s in qualifying. Your fast lap in practice will probably be a high 34. That's my guess anyway. But Elsinger with the first lap of the session. But let's get on board with Fabrizio Donoso very, very quick. And he'll be one of the two as Donoso runs into the wall on the exit of turn 19. He's going to peel straight into the pit. That was looking like it was actually a fairly quick lap. What has Black Panther done? He could only do a 37.2. Muller did a 38.7. Who was out on track about to start a lap? Was it Reeves? No. Reeves is... Let's sit on board with Reeves then for the end of his first lap. It is a Reeves tribute day as well. Don't forget. It's a 37.6 from Reeves, and it's not enough to make it onto the standing. The lap time did indeed get invalidated. Elsinger is improving slightly. Is anyone on a new lap? Yes, Hayes. He is 400s down on something. It's not telling us what, but he is 400s down. Maybe he did set in a previous time that just didn't get counted. Going to brake nice and late, try to take as much curve as possible, runs a little bit wide as he now approaches turn 12 and 13, run it through 14, comes out fairly wide. That may validate his lap time as well. Flat out through 15 and 16, now drop it all the way down to second, no, only third gear for 17, through the double left hand over 18, 19, drop it back down to third, try to get the power on as Muller has actually ended up in the wall there. We kind of missed it. We saw it briefly. Brakes when the curve starts, just about misses the curve on the apex of 21. It's going to be a 37.7 from Hayes. Not enough to jump ahead of Panther and Elsinger, which is surprising considering Hayes is on those hyper soft tyres. So on board with Myler. On the super soft tyres, actually, let's go to Beston. There's a yellow flag in second one, that won't affect Myler. But how wide will he come out? Almost clicking the wall on the exit of 19, but it's all nice and clean so far. Also, Barney, are you not racing with us for today? As Myler can only set a 40.1 on those super soft tyres, so not a very quick lap from Myler. Toffee's done a 39.8 and Porter's has done a 40.5. As Reeves has retired from the session as well. Oh, and Reeves has lost it. And you can get a tank slapper through turn 3/4. And that must have been what happened to Reeves, and he is out of the session. Not the best way to start your final ever esports race, but there you go, sometimes it happens. Let's sit on board with Donoso. He's a little bit further ahead on this lap, and he'll be starting a lap very soon. What about Emilio? spoiler. Photo to the pit. Right, let's get on board with Denozo. Then he's coming round. He's just entered the final sector, sector 3. He's going to make his way round to start his hot lap. Look at the back end stepping out all the way. Let's take the scenic camera as he takes as much curb as possible on the entry into 20. That's through 21, takes a nice late apex. Get on the power as quickly as possible to start his hot lap on these ultra soft tyres. Let's see what he can do. Flinging it into turn 1, runs a little bit wide, but it's all fairly stable. Uses a little bit of the Astro as he enters into turn 2. Now through turn 3, don't do what Weebs did. How late will he brake? He brakes at about 90 meters, takes as much apex as he can for turn 5. Now approaching into turn 7. Use as much of the entry as you can of that runoff area on the entry into 7. Flat out now, watch for the braking point as he enters 8. Probably the biggest, the hardest, harshest stopping. The most braking force that is applied in the lap is either into this turn 8 or turn 11, but it's all fairly clean from Denozo so far. Will activate the DRS down to about 50% DRS at the minute. As he approaches the chicane, loses the back end ever so slightly. Hopefully that will all be good, and I do apologise for the stream being laggy. I can see that now. I shall close down all the background programs in just a second, but let's just ride on board for the rest of Denozo's lap. As he enters turn 18 and 19, all looking fairly clean so far. Loosening up all of the curve on the entry 220. Toffee will just avoid getting in the way. In fact, might give him a little bit of a tow. Down the start finish straight, it's a 34.7 from Fabrizio Denozo, who will move up and take the provisional pole, I guess, of the practice session. Right, hopefully that should make this a bit better. If it's still lagging, I shall figure something else out. Denozo with a 34.8 moves to the top of the standing, so good job from him. Who is on a lap? Hayes is on a lap. He's a 10th down on his previous best at the minute. But it's looking fairly close between Elsing and Black Panther, and that may be the battle for the final point. We've seen them battle many times over the course of the season. Don't forget, Black Panther, if he wants to be miler in the championship, Black Panther needs to finish 6th. He needs to finish 6th to take 6 points, as Hayes will enter the pits. What about Muller? He's on an out lap. Is anyone on a hot lap? Oh, let's sit on board with Calcifer. Calcifer's done a 35.3, so 6/10 down on Denozo. That's not too bad. He should hopefully be in the running for a 4th or 5th place. Maybe he can challenge the likes of Muller, Hayes, and G3 for that spot. But I feel that this race is, as usual, going to be between what am I saying? It's going to be between Tim, FormulaDani, and Fabrizio Denozo as usual. It's going to be those 3 at the front. In fact, it may just be a 2-way battle between Tim and FormulaDani. Let's ride on board with G3. He's starting his first lap in the Mercedes, so he's a teammate with FormulaDani for this race. He won't count for points though, which is a shame. Also, if Ferrari want to beat Renault in the championship, Photon is going to have to win the race, and Calcifer and Elsinger can't pick up a single point. So it's going to be very difficult, as G3 getting on the power, losing the back end fair bit actually on the exit of turn 7. Apparently says that he's not using his DRS. I'm not sure if that's just a game glitch or not. actually he's fairly easy on the brakes, so I don't think he's pushing any more on this lap. He is on mode 4 for ERS, and he's turned it down to 0 now as he approaches turns 11, 12 and 13. I need to get used to corner numbers. So he will be saving up his earth, I would believe, for the next lap. Or maybe he's just putting in a race stint. Who knows? Who knows? Obviously you always have a mix of people doing race stints, doing qualifying stints. So that always confuses things a fair bit. But then again, it's practice. So yeah, it's always a little bit dull. I hate to say it, but once qualifying starts, everything will start to pick up a notch, I would say. 38.9 coming through from GP3 moves him up to 9th in the standings. Found a bit of time on the first sector. What about Calcifer actually? Why can't I go up from here? Is my S7 button broken? Okay. No, it's not, it's all fine. That's rather strange. And Flex's Marcy is off in the grass. Where has he been this? Where is he? I'm trying to work out where he is. Oh, so he did what Reeves did, just like he managed to catch it and not completely did it. Calcifer into the pits after doing his 35.3. Donoso with a 34 has just started a hot lap on the Hypersoft tyres now, so this is going to be a qualifying sim. He's in mode 5 of his ERS. Let's sit on board then for a hot lap from Fabrizio Donoso, who was able to win on track 2 races ago in Brazil. He did lose it as he pulls it all the way over to the right, almost running into the side of Toffee, who was coming back onto track. And that's Flex's Marcy, who has lost the car yet again. Clearly he's burned up those tyres and just struggling to find any grip, or any traction I should say. But Donoso slows it right down, takes as much curb as possible, try to ride as much curb for turn 9 so you can get the best possible exit onto the second DRS straight, or the third DRS. Second DRS straight, I believe. And Donoso using up all of that curb on the entry, takes so much curb on the entry and on the apex of turn 11. Now getting the power back on into the triple right-hander of 15, 16, and now into 17, drops it down into third gear, takes a fair chunk of curb. Now be nice and patient through 18 and 19. Black Panther's retired from the session, and there's Black Panther! And that has ruined Fabrizio Donoso's run. Thankfully, it didn't see him out of the race. Will we get anyone who's approaching? Here we go, Toffee's coming round. And that's a massive, massive shame. But Black Panther, clearly he just put too much power on the exit of turn 19 and just ran into the wall. And that's it. And that's how easy it is for your practice session to be over. 13 minutes left, so shouldn't cost him too much. Hopefully, for his sake, he has his setup sorted and he knows what he wants, or what little tweaks he wants to make to his setup come qualifying. Let's run board with Muller actually, because he's starting a lap on the ultra soft tyre. So let's see what he can do. As usual, we'll sit on board with the onboard position. He's in ERS mode 5, so suggests that he's going for a hot lap. But let's see, brakes nice and late, takes as much curb as possible. As Fabrizio Donoso has retired from the session, so he's coming to pits and has quite simply just retired, I would believe. I don't think he crashed out anywhere, but I guess time will tell on that front. But here we go with the Muller. Watch out for the braking point. To turn 8, sorry, pardon me. About 80 meters, watch how much curb he takes. A fair bit. Try to get the best possible exit through 9 for the second DRS straight. All looking fairly good so far. can he actually break into the 34s like Donoso did? Don't forget, even if you leave the practice session, you can rejoin. Muller locking up, missing the apex for turn 11. Shouldn't cost him too much time though. Now into 19, don't make the same mistake as Panther! And he makes the exact same mistake as Panther, or I'm guessing very, very similar. And who is anyone going to run unsuspectingly into... Oh, Calcifer won't. Elsinger won't. Hayes, Myler. Let's stick on board with Hayes. He may run into the back of Muller if Muller's heart is not removed. And Muller's car is out of the way as Hayes almost runs into that wall. And watch out for that wall, catching people out in the race. It's going to be so easy as Myler runs wide as well. Has to really slow the car down. But Hayes has set a 35-1, so he's moved up to second. Does Calcifer have any answer to this? Can he find that little bit more time? And I just got a message from Panther explaining how he crashed. Apparently he got distracted at the wheel. Don't worry Panther, you're not the only one. Muller did it as well. Literally the exact same thing, I think. Right, Calcifer using no errs at the minute, so he's setting himself up for a hot lap. Hayes is back out. What about Marcy? He's on his out lap. Is anyone really, really pushing? Oh, yes. Yes, bring it up. It's Williams Tim. In a Sauber though, so let's see what he can do. I'm sure he'll be very quick. Possibly a low 34 may even come out from him, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's stick around with Calcifer though as he comes around the final corner to start a hot lap. We'll move over to Williams Tim very shortly, because he's probably going to be a little bit quicker than Donoso, you know. Let's see what his sector times are like. He's a 10th up on his previous best. So he's right on the cusp of beating Hayes as it stands. But Williams Tim is on a lap, so we need... Oh no, it's not on a lap. Not yet anyway. We'll give it another 20 seconds and we'll skip back over to Tim for his hot lap. Let's see what Calcifer can do. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. That could actually be Tim, so... We'll keep an eye on the table for Tim, for Calcifer's lap time, but Tim coming around the final corner to start his hot lap. Let's see what he can do. Again, using up all of the curve on the entry into turn 1, nice and wide. Get the power back on, flat out into turns 2, 3, and the kink of 4. How late will he dare brake? About 80 meters, he misses the apex. And that is going to void his lap time. Let's go move back over to Calcifer then. He's pushing as it stands. Coming through turn 19, he won't run into the wall. Now into 20, how will he take 21? He gets a fair chunk of curbing on the apex. Flat out to the line is a 35-0, but it will not count. The lap time has been invalidated. And Calcifer will have to settle for third for now. What about Elsinger actually? He was unable to really improve. Flexibility 37. 5. And he is in 6th place. He's found actually 2/10 though in that first sector. So maybe he could jump ahead of Elsinger, move up into 4th place. Only time will tell. What about Tim though? Is he going for a second lap? Yes he is. It looks like he is. He's saving up all of his so let's stick around with Tim. Let's take the scenic camera then. as Tim makes his way through the final sector to start a second hot lap. Hopefully this time he won't miss his braking point heading into turn 5. But here we go, Tim coming round. No, he's going to head straight into the pits. That was ever so slightly anticlimactic. So let's move to Flex's Master C then, who runs wide heading into turn 11. Or heading into turn 12, on the exit of turn 11, let's say. So who is actually on a hot lap? Calcifer isn't. Hayes is setting himself up for a hot lap actually. Here we go, he tries to take a nice late apex, although I don't think he gained much time by doing that, just because he wasn't carrying any speed through the corner itself. Into turn 1, takes a little bit of curve. He could have taken a bit more. And now into turns 2, 3, and of course the pink of 4, all flat out. Have to just keep it in. You couldn't do this back in F1 2014, F1 2013. You always have to do a slight lift. But now into turn 7, seems to get a decent run. Takes, hugs the apex for a fair bit through turn 7 actually. Now back on the power. We approach turn 7 as G3 has moved up into 4th place with a 36.3, so a good lap from him. He's now pushing, DRS has been activated. Watch how much curve he'll use as he heads into this corner. Uses a fair bit, but Tim and Denoza used a lot more. So possibly that's somewhere where he can gain a 10th or so. But otherwise, all looking fairly smooth, all looking fairly clean as he has entered sector 3 through 15, 16, brake down into 3rd gear for 17. Now into the double left-hander of 18 and 19, drop it back down to 3rd for 19, and now heading into 20 and 21. You have to be so patient through 20, so easy to run wide. And now brake just before the curve starts on the left. What's this going to be? It's looking quick. It's going to be a 34.3. And Hayes moves to the top of the standings on the ultra soft tyres. Denoza was only able to do a 34 on the hyper soft. So Hayes looking very, very quick. So we'll have to watch out for him in qualifying. He could possibly spoil the party of FormulaDani, Tim and Denozo. Ooh, as what's happened to G3? Where is this? It's on the exit of turn 19 again. You can see his front right tyre hanging off. And it's meant that, well, it meant that he ran wide, hit the wall, and it just spun him out into the middle of the track. Which unsuspecting victim will run right into him is not in the blind corner itself. So that's a positive. Who is approaching that sector? Right, let's stay on board with Emilio. He may run into the side of it. If the car is still there. No, it's not. Emilio running wide as well. But the wall at turn 11, and that should be the new wall of champions. The esports wall of champions, can we call it. But that's G3 out of the session. Tip is still in the pits. Also, thank you, Carla, for the subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you're interested in joining ORL, we are taking entries for season 11, I believe. Best Marcy unable to really improve. 3 minutes left. Elsinger is on a hot lap on these Hypersoft tyres. His best lap so far has been on those Ultras, so he should be able to find a bit more pace. He really hits the apex sweep for turn 5, or looking nice and clean. He did I think he scrubs off a bit too much speed heading through turn 7. Turn 7 is one of the corners that I just don't understand in this game. I don't understand what line works through there. You can take a late apex, you can hold it round. It just doesn't really make sense to me how to take that corner, but he seems to lose a fair bit of time through there as he now approaches into turn 8 and 9. The car drifts out, he loses the back end when putting the power on, and that is going to be his lap time over. He passes the support car pit lane. That's the starting grid for all the support cars, so the GT supercars and all that kind of stuff. I think, I'm not sure if Formula 2 or Formula 3 use that as well. Okay, Williams Tim is on an out lap. Is anyone on a hot lap though? Photon's coming out of the pit. He'll get round in time. Pole position, the 37.2 moves up into 7th place. Hayes is coming out of the pit. Oh god. I'm tired. But anyway, let's get on board with Williams Tim. There's a nice little trick that you can do when you're on your outlet and stuff. To reduce your tyre wear, just cut through those chicanes. Just drive through it. Because you don't get any penalty for doing that on your outlet. So, it reduces tyre wear. So it's never a bad thing. Although I expect to see that happening in qualifying. Tim was one of the few drivers, I think it was at Spa, when you finish a qualifying lap, he'd just do a U-turn and then go into the pits that way. So yeah, clever stuff, and it can massively help you. It can help you get an extra lap in qualifying. So it is useful, it is very useful. Right, here we go, Williams Tim coming around the final corner to start his one and only hot lap of the session. Let's see what he can do. Can he get into the 33s even, or will he be unable to beat Hayes? Flat out through 2, into 3, still flat, and of course flat through the king before. Watch the braking, about 90 meters, takes so much curb. Absolutely beautiful, trying to take the line of least resistance in this tight ending to set, in the tight beginning to set 2. Power back on now, DRS straight on us on mode 4. He could up it to mode 5, so he's got a little bit something in the bank that he can take through into qualifying. Makes that about 90 meters once again. Gets a fair bit of curve, nicely taken through the chicane of 8, 9 and 10. Now once again flatter. Now watch how much of that curve Tim uses on the entry. Rides right over it. Again, taking the shallowest angles into turns 11, 12 and 13. Through 14, be a little bit patient on the power. Back in, trying to step out from underneath him. Through 15 and 16, all flat. Now trail braking, or braking and then trail braking all the way through 17. He really rides the curve on the inside. Now you have to be patient through 19. Don't run into that wall. And I literally said, don't run into the wall, and what does he do? He runs into the wall. Can I think I may make a compilation at the end of this video of just everyone running into that wall. But let's stick on board with Velocity's Photon. What can he do? It's looking fairly quick. It's going to be a 34.5 from Photon, and he moves up into second place. So he seemingly has a lot of pace available to him as well. What about Calcifer? He's crossed the line. Pole position is the only one left. Pole position and Hayes. So Hayes has done a 34.3 at the minute. And what has happened to Hayes actually? Is it turn 20? Please be turn 19. Sorry, this is turn 19, yeah. We have no idea what happened to Hayes. Did he just come in the pits and retire? Anyway, that has been the practice session. So, watch out for turn 19, guys, because that is going to catch out a lot, and I mean a lot of drivers in the race. The eSport. I don't think I've seen a corner in this season catch out as many drivers. Forget about in a session, in the whole day of racing as this corner has done today. Like even in Monaco, not as many drivers got caught out by tobacco Rascas or anything like that. This corner has caught out so many people, and it's one of those corners. Abu Dhabi is one of these tracks where you just want to push as much as you can, but it's just so difficult, and it's so easy to lose it. But there you go. Hayes will take the top of the standings for practice ahead of Photon and Fabrizio Donoso. Calcifer looking strong in 4th place ahead of Myler, G3, Elsinger, while Black Panther pole position and Flexus Marcy round out the top 10. Don't forget Muller, FormulaDani and Tim did not set any lap times. Muller and Tim both crashing out into the wall on the exit of turn 19. Guys, actually, drop in some messages. What should we call the barrier of turn 11? We need a name for this elusive, not elusive, it's the opposite of elusive, this attractive magnet, this magnet of a barrier that is the barrier on the exit of turn 19 that has caught out so many drivers so far. And guys, I also want to hear predictions. How many drivers in qualifying and the race, so 2 answers, how many drivers in qualifying and the race will hit that barrier on the exit of turn 19? Who's going to be the first one out? It's not going to be Elsinger, actually. Elsinger's too slow, and the title of first out onto track is going to actually go to Velocic Photon. Detail, let's have it on 50 tyres for now, as actually I think, who was that behind? Almost ran into the wall. We could see that a few times as well. Drivers running into the wall through the pit lane, and that would be actually heartbreaking. You see someone making a pit stop. Imagine if someone had front wing damage on lap 1. They come in the pit, put on a new wing, go through turn 1 in the pits, and then they just crash into the barrier. I've done it. It's not nice. It really isn't. But anyway, that being said, oh my god, that's a lot of cars. Right, but anyway, Photon coming round, getting ready to start his first hot lap, the first hot lap of qualifying for this final race here at Abu Dhabi. So let's see how it goes. Don't forget, guys, Calcifer currently leading the championship by 15 points. The race is due to start, will probably start in about 20 minutes, so at 8:48, 8:50. Actually, no. 8:45 the race will probably start, so if you guys want to take the break and join for the race, 8:45 is the time to come in. But anyway, here it is, Photon on his first lap, almost catches out FormulaDani, who's coming out of the pits at the exact same moment in time, but Photon really throwing it in at the start, sector 2 through turns 5 and 6. Now through 7, gets on the power fairly well. No back end stepping out as far as I can see. Now flat out, obviously it's flat out down the straight as we approach turns 8 and 9. How late will he break? That is really late, about 80 meters. He does indeed make the apex. This is the apex slightly for turn 9, but straight back on the power. Shouldn't cost him too much time. This is looking very quick at the minute. Probably going to be a low 34 as it stands. Where will he brake? Brakes fairly late and lets the car drift over the curb under braking. So I quite like that braking style as opposed to what Tim does. But anyway, nice and patient from Photon through turn 14, now into the triple right hander of 15, 16. Brake down to 3rd gear, trail braking all the way through 17. Now you've got to be patient through 18 and 19. Will we see our first victim of the day in here? No, we won't. Photon gets through nicely and cleanly. Now through 20 and 21. Be patient through 20. Don't want to get an invalidated lap time. And into 21. How much curve will he get? Just about clips the apex. It's all looking very smooth. It's a 33.3, but it's not going to be counted. Photon's lap so fast. But as Donoso, we just catch Donoso running into the wall. It's a double wall shunt, and Donoso, that's going to be his lap over. Calcifer into the pits as well. And that corner is catching out so many drivers. But it's Tim with a 32.7. It's faster than what Photon was going to do anyway. So it doesn't matter. But there you go, Williams Tim with a 32.7. Let's sit on board with Hayes. He's coming into turns 20 and 21. Will he run wide? No, he just about keeps it together. Locks up a little bit. That'll cost him a tenth or so. What's this going to be? It's a 33 flat. But once again, not going to count. Invalidated lap time. Muller gets a 37.9. That's not a kind of lap time he wants to be getting. What about FormulaDani? He's on a hot lap. He's just entered sector 3. Very, very neat as he goes through 11, 12, 13. Through 14, gets the power on nice and smooth. And now into the triple right hander of 15, 16. And drop it down into third gear. Trail braking all the way through 17. Now patient through 18. We haven't seen a victim yet of this session. But we have seen Donoso hit the wall, but he didn't retire. So Donoso going into that wall again. Hopefully that doesn't happen in the race. Now FormulaDani going to slow it right down. Get on the power as quickly as possible. This is looking very quick. It's a 32.3. And FormulaDani, how are you so fast? Almost 4 tenths faster than Tim. But FormulaDani takes provisional pole for the session. Right, anyway, Muller is on a lap. I'm not sure if this is going to be faster than his previous lap or not. Considering how slow his previous lap was, I would imagine this will be quicker. Back end stepping out under the brakes into turn 17. Takes a fair bit of curb, almost loses the back end through 19. Car's almost drifting at the back end, looking so light for Muller. Unfortunately for him, park firming rules are now in effect, so that back end may prove to be an issue over this race. Who is on a hot lap? Dono's about to start one. He's running so close to that wall. Just why would you do that? But here we go, Donoso gonna start his hot lap. Let's take the scenic view then, shall we? Flex's Marcy on those super soft tyres, doing a decent job at the minute, ahead of Elsinger, who would be his usual competitor for the title of best of the rest. Usually Flex's Marcy, Elsinger and Black Panther battling for that. Sometimes you see Myler up there as well. But here we go from Donoso as he enters sector 3, enters sector 2. Oh, back end stepping out all the way from Donoso on the exit of turn 7. But we can't see what his delta times are relative to anyone else at the minute. But let's just see what he can do. Watch out for Photon as well. Photon looking was looking quick, at least in his first run. It was a 33.3, so he's got more time to find, but he would be sitting third if it wasn't for that. Anyway, sitting on board, not sitting on board, watching Donoso at the minute as he makes his way through turn 19. I haven't seen him run wide anyway, so this lap time should be a valid one. Takes enough curb through turn 17. We're looking fairly clean. Doesn't run into the wall this time. Good job, Donoso. And now into 20. And 21 coming up, brakes nice and late, using up all the curve possible. Looking very quick, he runs a bit wide. It's a 32.4 from Donoso, and Donoso will move up into second place. A very quick lap from Fabrizio. Muller on an out lap, so is Photon. What about Calcifer? Calcifer on a hot lap at the minute on these hyper soft tyres. Let's see what he can do. He needs to get ahead of Flex's Marcy. So Calcifer needs a 33. That's what Calcifer needs to be aiming for. A 33 of some form. As Weebs with a 35.4 moves ahead of Flex's Marcy into 4th place. I think Calcifer may have just cut the corner a bit there, so this may be an invalidated lap time. We'll see though when he crosses the line. Hasn't set a best time yet. Hayes and G3 on hot laps at the minute. Into turn 20 we go. What's it going to be? This is going to be so important. Hayes also coming around to start a lap. And Calcifer with a 33.4. That's what I said he needed to do, and that's what he was able to do. Fabrizio Donoso not on a lap at the minute. Oh, but Williams Timpers, you can hear the locking up in from the front left tyre. He is pushing like absolute crazy right now. You can hear the tyres screeching for their life. Let's sit on board for the rest of this lap then. Keep an eye out on Hayes, he's a bit further ahead. Actually no, Hayes is behind FormulaDani. Watch out for G3 and Photon though. But anyway, here we go from Tim as we're approaching the end of sector 2. What's it gonna be? The 16.8 right on the limit on the entry into the corner. He's pushing it so hard right now, and through turn 14 into the triple left hander of 15, 16, and once again drop it down to third, trail braking into 7. He drops it down to second actually. He's the first of the front runners that I've seen to go into second for that corner. Doesn't run into the wall on the exit of 19, now through 20. Be a little bit patient. Tim doesn't know what patient is, but he's gonna come into the pit. So clearly not happy with that lap time. How's Hayes looking? What about Photon? Hayes is gonna come into the pit. What about Muller? Muller's done a 33.4, but it's not gonna count. Let's sit on board with Photon. So that 33.4 would have put him exactly level with a Calcifer. So Calcifer right in this battle with the likes of Muller and Photon, which is where he needs to be if he wants to retain his title and become a triple ORL world champion. Anyway, through the final corner we go. It's a 34.4 from Photon, but it's on super soft tyres, so that's pretty damn good from Velocity Photon. But here we go with FormulaDani. Surely he can't improve on a 32.3. If he's at a 31, I am actually going to hail him as the greatest esports driver that has ever lived. But anyway, through 15, 16, once again drop it down to third, trail braking for 17, doesn't go down to second. Maybe he feels that if he runs wide. Whoa, almost. How do you run so close to that wall? And does FormulaDani have an invalidated lap time? No, he doesn't. He's still going to push. Let's see what this is going to be. It's a 32.1. How does he keep on doing this? He is absolutely insane. Go on, do one more, Danny. Do one more. Pull out a 31. And I'm not quite sure what's happening to Elsinger here. Muller coming into the pit. Black Panther's on his out lap, so we can sit on board with Panther for a bit. Actually, is Photon not on a lap? No, he's not on a lap. He's going to be coming into the pits. Myler's in the pits as well. Elsinger. Okay, yeah, let's sit with Panther then. He's coming into turns 20 and 21 to start his first hot lap. I'm not sure if he'll actually be able to get into the pits and back out in time for another lap. So this is going to be a very, very important lap for Black Panther. On the hypersoft tyres, taking no chances. He'll want to be getting a low 34. He wants to be in the 34s. Because he will want to beat Myler. And he and Myler are battling for 10th place in the championship. As it stands, Black Panther needs to finish 6th and Myler out of the points for Panther to move up ahead or to overtake him in the championship. Here we go, DRS activated from Panther. Watch the braking. He brakes fairly early, so he'll take a lot of curb, yeah, but he runs wide, and that's a difference. And no offense, Panther, but that's the difference between well, Panther and the likes of Kim and Denozo. It's just, it's a different level. It is really incredible watching them. Runs a little bit wide into on the exit of 11, which compromises him through 12 and 13. Otherwise, it's all looking fairly decent though. If he can get a low 35, I think he'll be fairly happy. If he can get in the 33s, I think he'll be pretty damn happy with that one. Now, don't run into the wall this time, Panther. Oh my god, how close do you like? That wall is... it's really playing with my heartstrings right now. But it's looking fairly good from Panther. It's a 34-3. But it's not going to count. A 34-3 from Panther. Would have seen him jump ahead of Photon. But it's not going to count. And now, that's it. It's over. Right, okay, Panther has to cut through the corner. No, cut through the corner, Panther. You're not going to make it back to the pits and out again. Panther, you silly boy. Oh. Anyway, here we go with Hayes. He's about to finish his lap time. What is it going to be? It's looking fairly quick. It's going to be a 33-2. And that will move him up into 4th place. Where are you, Muller? It's a 33-4 from Muller, but it doesn't count. Oh no, he's just started his lap now. Okay. Hayes is on a hot lap, but let's get on board with Muller because this is really important for Muller as he hasn't set a lap time yet. Denozo's just started the lap, but look at all of this traffic for Muller. Elsinger gets out of the way straight away. Calcifer peels out. It's almost... this is actually crazy right now for Muller. I won't quite pick up the slipstream from Toffee. Can someone send a test message in the in the YouTube chat because I can't see any messages right now. And I think Muller's... okay, Muller hasn't backed up this lap. He's turned it back into mode 5 down the back straight. Can he get a little bit of slipstream off Hayes? Yes, he can. Ever so slight run off Hayes. I'm just going to hold my breath now. Let's see what Muller can do. Actually, as Black Panther... no, Black Panther is just going to go for another lap. So he's going to do 3 laps on those tyres. He has managed to set a 34-3 in the end. So actually, did that actually count then? As Muller runs into the wall. And that's going to compromise him so much. But he has to finish the lap. What's it going to be? Will it actually count? Will he have to do it one more lap? It's a 34-0 from Muller. It's enough to jump ahead of Panther. But it's not enough to jump ahead of Calcifer. Speaking of Calcifer, Calcifer's just started his hot lap. Denozo's on a hot lap. You've got Tim as well. So let's get on board with Denozo. He's going to be the first of these guys to finish a lap. What about G3 actually? Actually, let's get on board with G3 and then move over to Mr. Denozo. But we've approached the final stages of qualifying, so everything's going to get seriously intense now. But what can G3 do? It's a 33 flat. That is a really quick lap time. What can Denozo do? He's pushing like crazy. It's a 32-3 from Denozo. Not enough to beat FormulaDani. And Photon, he's come out of nowhere with for 32.98. Less than a 10 separating himself and G3. But what can Williams, Kim and FormulaDani do? It's always going to come down to these guys. It comes down to them every time. Actually, let's just check on board with Marcy. He's on the ultra soft tyres. He's 2/10 up on whatever he did before. Calcifer as well. He's in the final section of the circuit. So let's get on board with him. Oh, as he has a massive tank slapper moment. And I think that may just end his qualifying run. He's still going to push and he's run wide. That's going to be the end of his lap. Let's get on board with Tim though. Denozo isn't pushing. Denozo is out of this. Tim pushing like crazy, running ragged over every single curve. Now as we head into the triple right-hander, will he drop it down into second? Yes, he does. So he's the only one of the top 5 that actually drops it into second. Now don't run into that wall. He takes the apex beautifully. And now into the double right-hander and flexes Marcy gets well out of the way. Tim Can he do it? Can he beat FormulaDani? And no, he can't. It's a 32-2. But it's not going to count. And what can you do, FormulaDani? It's a 31! FormulaDani! I officially hail you as the greatest esports driver ever. How do you manage that? That is incredible! What on earth? A 31.8 from FormulaDani. Can someone please check the time trial and find out what a 31.852 would, where that would actually put you in time trial? Because that is incredible. Wow. Absolutely insane from FormulaDani. And that is why he has clawed up to Calcifer in the championship. And as it stands, FormulaDani would win the championship with the first Calcifer down in 7th. So it's going to be tight. If two of... We've always seen over the season... Hang on, let me just go over the standings quickly. But we've always seen over this season people in front of Calcifer having moments which promotes Calcifer position. So there we have it then, your official result. FormulaDani takes pole ahead of Fabrizio Donoso. Williams Timp was unlucky in the end not to take second. His lap time did get invalidated. Photon takes 4th ahead of G3RRX in 5th place, while Hayes rounds out the 3rd row of the grid. Calcifer and Muller make up the 4th row, and that's going to be an interesting battle. While Myla and Panther round out the top 10. Reed starting really well actually for his final ever Grand Prix in 11th, while pole position is in 12th, and Flexes Marcy and Elsinger having disappointing sessions in 13th and 14th. So I'm going to start the recording. Just it all may sound a bit weird, but get your messages in. I want to hear your predictions and all of that stuff. I hope you guys are hyped, because I am. Right, so when they all line up on the grid, I will start the introduction for the recording, and that's how you get your lovely thing at the end when I make my highlights video. Predictions. Will FormulaDani win, or will it be someone else? And second prediction, who's going to win the championship? FormulaDani or Calcifer? But as it stands, FormulaDani is looking in looking in good shape to get it. So we've heard a lot of predictions, especially from Panther, that there's going to be a big incident between the top runners. But yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ORL Season 10, Round 21, for the season finale here at the Circuit Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. And what could possibly be a better way to end this championship than at the 3.4 mile circuit, where you race into the sunset. First time we raced here was in 2009, and we've seen many drivers crown champion, from the likes of Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel as well. I believe he got one here as well. However, your grid as it stands, as they line up, FormulaDani starting in pole position ahead of Donoso, who makes up the first row of the grid. Williams Tim unlucky not to take second. His final lap did get invalidated. Photon makes up the second row of the grid, while G3RRX and Hayes make up the 3rd row. Calcifer and Muller very, very close in qualifying, and Calcifer will need to muster every bit of pace for the race. Myla is in 9th, while Black Panther rounds out the top 10 in 10th, of course. Weeds with a very good run in 11th. Pole position in 12th, while Flexes Marcy and Elsinger with disappointing qualifying sessions in 13th and 14th. Emilio Sachs and Toffee round out the grid. We have 16 drivers for this race. Don't forget, guys, FormulaDani 15 points down on Calcifer. If Dani wins, Calcifer needs to finish 5th or above. Sorry, Calcifer needs to finish above 5th. Yeah? So Calcifer needs to finish 4th. If Dani comes 2nd, Calcifer needs to finish 8th to win. If Dani finishes 3rd, Calcifer just needs to pick up 1 point in 10th place. Now, this is going to be extremely hype because we saw in AOR Split 1 earlier this week, FormulaDani and Tim had a coming together on the final lap of the race. Also, watch out for the exit of turn 19. We have seen so many drivers run into that wall through practice and qualifying. But guys, everyone's lining up on the grid. Are you hyped for this? We have so much to watch out for. FormulaDani, Calcifer. We've got to watch out for turn 19. What can Tim and Denozo do? Can they challenge for this? But we have 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for... Hurry up. And away we go for the Grand Prix. Denozo gets a great start off the line. He's going to go for FormulaDani right off the bat. But FormulaDani's going to hold it. There's a little bit of contact between the two. Williamson will be able to keep on to his position. Let's ride on board with Calcifer, who's sitting side by side with Muller. Will he actually be able to hold on to this position? There's a bit of contact between Muller and Hayes as Calcifer will get a decent run. What's happening up ahead as Muller dives back down the inside of Calcifer? That's actually going to allow Black Panther to have a go. Will he have a go? No, he won't. Let's just try to keep an eye on these guys up ahead, because I pressed the up button too many times, but FormulaDani leading the way from Denozo and Tim with Photon just behind. So it's all very, very close as it stands. No changes then from the start for those top 6, while Muller has managed to find 1 position on Calcifer. Ooh, I'm out of breath already. Let's put that on interval, position change. Let's put it on tyres. But there we go then. So Black Panther sitting ahead of Myla. Oh wow. So let's just see now how much those front 3 can pull away from everyone else. You can already start to see the gap forming from Tim to those guys behind. As did G3, did he run into the wall? Hopefully not. I don't think he did. However, if we sit on board with Calcifer, he's just falling back from Muller. And we know how important, whenever Calcifer can get a good run at the start of the race, he can really, really challenge these guys at the front. But if he falls back, he just finds it that much more difficult. As it stands, FormulaDani will win the title. But anyway, Williams Tim slowly falling back from these guys. Denozo right on the tail of FormulaDani. But look how close Calcifer, Muller and Hayes are. 3/10 separating the 3 of them. Actually, Hayes manages to get a good run through that final corner. Calcifer's too far back. And nothing's going to happen. Actually, Denozo taking a cheeky little look down the inside, heading into turn 8. But FormulaDani will just shut the door. He needs to try to break this DRS zone and just go off into the sunset, quite literally here at this night race that is the Abu Dhabi Round 21 Grand Prix. Look how close Calcifer is to Muller, less than a 10 separating them, but we need to keep an eye on this because Denozo is looking so rapid here today. Don't forget guys, on YouTube, get your predictions in. Who do you think is going to win the race/championship? Oh, Denozo understeers or has a lockup and misses the apex. We will give FormulaDani just a little bit of breathing room, but the gap starting to stretch now between Tim and Photon. G3 is completely out of this, so we're starting to see this 4-way group emerge. Whether FormulaDani can just leave or not, we'll have to wait and see. But it's looking possible for Calcifer at the minute. If Fabrizio Denozo can get ahead of FormulaDani, Calcifer will win the title. If it stays as it stands, FormulaDani's winning the title. I just have to reiterate so much how the live championship standings are. But here we go. There we have it. The DRS coming through from Denozo. He's going to have so much more overspeed. He's going to go for the inside. And there's nothing FormulaDani can really do. Tim right onto the back of Danny now as well. But FormulaDani now will get the DRS on the second DRS zone. But he's too far back. He wasn't able to get the drive. And now Denozo, is he going to be able to pull off
As just behind, we're going to see a battle between K3 and Hayes. As Reeves picks up a penalty, he's all the way down in 14. So he hasn't had a good start. He started in 11th place, if you remember. But Fabrizio Donoso is really checking out now. He seems to have so much pace on these Hypersoft tyres. Did FormulaDani just wear out his tyres too much in qualifying? But watch out for turn 19. We could see a couple of DNFs of people running wide, hitting that wall, and it could also cost other people. But Fabrizio Donoso has bolted. He's almost already pulled a second gap in less than a lap. FormulaDani seemingly struggling here in the opening stages at the Yas Marina circuit. But FormulaDani, he will get DRS on Donoso, so that should save him from the jaws of Tim. But what's happened to G3? G3, has he lost it through turn 4? I think he has. He's fallen down a lot, but this is good news for Calcifer now. He still needs to gain another 3 places to be able to challenge to retain his title. But FormulaDani is sticking fairly close to Donoso. Donoso just unable to break that 1 second gap, and this battle for the lead is still a full way. Sorry, I've got the case of hiccups. Not the best time for hiccups, but we have a 4-way battle for the race lead. Donoso leading the pack after overtaking FormulaDani on lap 3. Williams Tim is in 3rd, while Photon rounds it out. Hayes bridging the gap between Photon and Muller as Black Panther picks up his first penalty of the race. We'll keep an eye on that. As usual, we'll keep an eye on all penalties. Reeves also picked up a 3-second time penalty earlier on. But let's just try to sit on board with this as much as possible. Calcifer is sticking with Muller, which is good for him. Muller, though, is on those ultra-soft tyres, so he is on a good strategy at the minute. But is this it? Has Donoso been able to check out now? He's got almost 9/10 of a gap. We just need to find 1/10 before the DRS zone, before the DRS checkpoint. Sorry, the DRS detection zone, and he's not going to be able to do it. 8/10 separating FormulaDani as they cross the detection zone. You saw that white line just there, and actually I think Hayes is slowly closing in on this, but FormulaDani 9/10 down on Donoso. I think Donoso's slowly putting slowly pulling away, which is going to be really important. Photon fairly close to Williams. Tim, he has a little look down the inside. He breaks fairly late as Emilio Sachs picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. And FormulaDani much further back from Donoso than he was last time around. And it may be next lap FormulaDani won't have the DRS to save him from Tim. But as usual, we will have to keep an eye on that. We've got pole position. He's fairly close to Marcy, but we're gonna try our best. Actually, we may see a change pole position here. No, nothing's gonna happen quite yet. But the gap between Donoso and Danny 6/10 of a second as Marcy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Watch out for that barrier on the exit of turn 19. It will catch someone out in this race as Hayes picks up a 3-second time penalty, but Williams tip into the pits. Where will he feed out? That is going to be the interesting question. Hayes into the pits as well, and on lap 6, so they're clearly going for that 2-stop strategy. Let's see what FormulaDani, Photon and Donoso opt for. But Tim, where will he feed out? This is going to prove so important for him. He's going to come out behind. He's going to come out just behind Elsinger, I think. No, he's going to feed out just in front of Elsinger, but behind Flexus Marcy as the G3 picks up a time penalty. Now, how much will Tim get held up by Marcy here? He's going to go straight down the inside. Is there going to be any contact? No, they're side by side. Who's going to have DRS? It's going to be Tim, so Tim should get the position fairly straightforwardly. Flexus Marcy going straight back into the slipstream. Will he have a cheeky little look?
heading into turn 8. No, he won't. He will be sensible and back out of that. And actually, Elsinger might be able to have a go at Flex's Marcy here. They both have DRS, but Elsinger has the slipstream. Myler also very close to Black Panther, so once again we're seeing those two having a good battle for those final couple of points. And there's going to be no change in position. Poor position though. They're very, very close to Reeves. However, look at this. Hayes right on this group. He's going to go down the inside into turn 15. Will he make it work? Yes, he will. Oh, he hasn't looked yet. Is forced to cut the corner. And he picks up a second. 3-second time penalty. But who's that? It's Marcy. Marcy must have made contact with Elsinger then. And he's into the wall on the exit of turn 18. Not turn 19 as we were expecting. But here we go. We've got Hayes. He's going to get the good exit. And he will fly past Reeves. Reeves not putting up any defense. In fact, he might have actually lifted off and let Hayes through. But here we go. Fabrizio Donoso's just come out of the pits. He's on a fresh set of ultra soft tires as Flex's Marcia has retired from the session. So the undercut has worked brilliantly for Williams Tip, because if you remember, Donoso was leading the race. But here we go. Donoso, he's got the fresher tires. He's got the DRS. He has to make it work now. Tim will not go defensive, and Donoso down the inside into turn 8. He will make that work, but Tim lets him through because now Tim will have DRS for the straight heading into turn 11. Can he make it work? Donoso will, I'm sure, go defensive. Yes, he will. Williamson gonna take a look for the outside. He's not gonna be able to make any progress though, and Donoso will hold on to the essentially the lead of the Grand Prix, but he is in 5th place. Calcifer and Muller still very close together. FormulaDani not coming in the pit, so is FormulaDani gonna go for a one-stop strategy? That could really spice things up. Photon has also massively fallen back from Tim, so pitting 1 lap, 2 laps earlier has really helped him out. Unfortunately though, he wasn't able to hold on to the position from Donoso, so that's going to be really crucial because he's going to struggle. But Williams Tim with a 37.5. What is FormulaDani doing though? FormulaDani, I feel like he's losing some time. So what we're going to quickly do is we're going to quickly go over to the race director. We're going to look. So FormulaDani 38.39. And Tim's been gaining time. Tim's gaining about 2 seconds a lap. So FormulaDani is a really risky strategy that he's playing right now, picking or going for such a long first stint. But there you have it. Can Donoso though pull the pin from Tim? He's consistently had someone behind him in the DRS zone, which has stopped him from just checking out in the lead of the race. But Donoso will slowly be closing into Muller now. Muller on those ultra soft tires. So let's just see how far he can actually go then in this race on those ultra soft tires, of course. Elsinger actually started on the super soft tires, so we didn't pick up on that. He's made them last until now, but he's definitely going for a one-stop strategy. He'll probably go onto a set of the ultra soft tires for the final sim. But what's happened to Myler? Myler and Black Panther are racing wheel to wheel. They're all the way at the back of the grid now because they have both made their pit stop, but Black Panther holds on to the position. He's got the freshest set of tyres, so I think Myler found a way through because of the undercut. What was I going to say? But Black Panther found a way through on, well, he just managed to find a way through, and he's now got 1 lap fresher tyres. Calcifer down in 9th. He will jump ahead of both Reeves and Elsinger. Speaking of Reeves, Reeves is in the pits now as G3 has left the session. So that is good news for Calcifer, although he was already at the back of the grid, so it doesn't really make any difference. But Calcifer is essentially running in 7th place now. He will be battling with Muller though, although Muller had the slightly favourable strategy due to Muller being on those ultra soft tyres relative to Calcifer's hyper softs for the start of this Grand Prix. But here we go with still on board with Tim, lap 9 of 28, and things are really hotting up for this championship battle, because as it stands it looks like Donoso will not win. In fact, he may even struggle to pick up a second, because FormulaDani may struggle to win. In fact, he may not pick up a second. Also, hello Fixer again. Yeah, you do never know in racing, I guess. But Donoso has closed in onto Muller, and Muller, this could work out really well for FormulaDani if Muller can hold up Donoso and Tim. As let's ride on board from Tim's perspective, Donoso will sweep around the outside of Muller. How quickly can Tim get past Muller? He's going to get held up through sector 1, which means that Donoso, there's contact! I'm sorry, Tim, that was wrong. That was really, really bad from Tim. And very unnecessary from Tim. Should have just waited. But Tim outside of that 1 second gap, and someone just picked up a penalty. I can't remember who that was. Maybe if I can check like this. F6 incidents. Who just picked up a penalty? Myler. Okay, Myler. Cool. Okay, so FormulaDani's in the pits. Where has he come out? FormulaDani has come out in 5th place. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't needed, and yeah. I could understand if Muller was getting lapped, but he wasn't. So, yeah, it was contact nevertheless, and it spun Muller out. So, don't be surprised if Tim may get a penalty post-race for that, which could have massive implications for the entire race standings and the championship. But FormulaDani now behind Hayes. He's on the super soft tyres, so he is going for the one-stop strategy. Can he make it work though? I have my doubts. And I honestly think things are looking quite good for Calcifer now. Calcifer right behind Muller. Muller lost about 10 seconds due to that incident. And now this actually means that Calcifer will probably beat Muller in the race. And look how much time Muller is losing on these tyres, as Muller going to shut the door completely. And Muller's rear tyres are completely gone. But he's trying to do everything. Look, he's got no rear grip at all. He should have pitted at the end of that lap. At the end of lap 10, but he didn't. There you go. But Fabrizio Donoso is looking absolutely impeccable right now, leading the Grand Prix. And oh, we've got contact. Calcifer brake late. Muller used Calcifer as a braking point and ended up braking late as well. Contact was made. No punctures, and I don't think any front wing damage, thankfully. However, also don't forget. Oh, Muller cutting a. Does he have a puncture? He's just got no tyres left. I do not want to see what percentage wear Muller has on these tyres. But FormulaDani closing it in onto Hayes with every lap. So Fabrizio Donoso actually going to approach onto Emilio quite quick within about 3-4 laps, as Hayes picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's his 3rd of the Grand Prix. 2 more and he will get disqualified, which will promote Calcifer yet another position. As Muller's come in the pit, but Muller is going to come all the way down in 11th. And the one-stop strategy is just not going to work for him, unfortunately. But there you have it. That's a massive, massive shame for Muller. The contact from Tim has completely ruined it. Yeah. But here we go, FormulaDani. He's got the DRS. He's going to go for the inside of Hayes. Hayes not going to put up much of a fight, and FormulaDani will move up into 4th place. Next up is his Velocity teammate, Velocity Photon, and I doubt Photon will put up much of a fight at all. In fact, he'll probably just let him through, give him a bit of a slipstream as well. But here we go. FormulaDani will have to try to close into these guys up ahead on these super soft tyres. And we may see once again Donoso versus FormulaDani on that final lap, just like we saw in Mexico. Donoso came out on top of that time. Will he be able to come out on top again? As Muller picks up a 3-second time penalty. And the race starting to settle down now, but we'll keep an eye on penalties as Reeves picks up his 2nd time penalty of the Grand Prix. Black Panther closing in massively onto Elsinger on those fresher tyres. So he's already ahead of Elsinger with his 2-stop strategy, just because he's right behind Elsinger now, and Elsinger hasn't made his first stop yet. Keep an eye on the gap between FormulaDani to Photon. Is currently sitting at 3 seconds, so watch how that gap develops over time. So Fabrizio Donoso on the 2nd DRS straight, Emilio's entering the corner, so give it 2 laps and we may see him getting up. Elsinger actually going to get out of the way of Black Panther, so very, very nice of him, and Black Panther will move up into 7th place. Let's sit on board though with our race leader Fabrizio Donoso for a bit. But FormulaDani closing in onto Photon very quickly, and he's actually dragging Hayes with him. Don't forget guys, if you have any questions or anything at all that you'd like to ask, just drop us a message in the chat. We're always more than happy to help, and if I can't help, one of the admins of the league will be able to help you. Anyway, here we go, still riding on board with Fabrizio Donoso. And he's been commanding so far from start to finish. Started in 2nd, but he was clearly the quicker driver in the entirety of the first stint. But now we know that FormulaDani was trying to make his tyres last longer than these guys, so that does explain a fair bit. So let's see how FormulaDani does. He's closing into Photon by a fair amount every lap, and in fact, he may even be able to go for a cheeky late stop onto hypersoft tyres. So that could even be a possibility for FormulaDani. But expect the likes of Donoso to be picking for a new set of tyres in about 3 laps or so. In about 4 laps, they'll pit on for another set of ultrasofts, or they could go a couple of laps longer and pit for hypersofts. But Emilio Sachs getting well out of the way of Emilio getting well out of the way of Donoso, and now FormulaDani within 2.3 seconds as Tim picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's going to be important as Emilio gets out of the way of Tim as well. Hayes 1.3 seconds down on FormulaDani, but watch Photon's lap time and then watch FormulaDani. So Photon, what kind of lap time? So Williamson did a 38.0, 38.1, 37.7. So he's catching by about 3 to 4 tenths per lap, which is a pretty decent amount considering he's on the super soft tyres. So good stuff from FormulaDani at the minute, and he's looking in good shape at the minute to hunt for that win. And don't forget, Tim has a 3-second time penalty, so he should jump ahead regardless. As Black Panther picks up his 2nd 3-second time penalty of the race. As Elsinger seemingly getting out of the way of Muller. Muller moving up into 9th place. Muller should be able to go for 7th, but I doubt he'll be able to challenge Calcifer, even though they are on these different strategies. But there you have it, FormulaDani moving through on Emilio, and Hayes is going to be the last of these guys to lap Emilio. FormulaDani 2 seconds down on Photon as it stands. And Photon's kind of keeping the gap to Williams-Tim, but Fabrizio Donoso just so quick. He's got such a good race setup, you would see, and he's just completely pulling away at the front of these guys. Let's just keep an eye on the lap times as usual. So let's see what Donoso can do. .37.8. Tim's into the pits. 38.2. 37.7. So Donoso and FormulaDani with roughly the same pace. But here we go. Williams-Tim into the pits. He won't come out ahead of Calcifer, but he may come out behind Panther. In fact, he'll come out around Calcifer. He's going to come out in front of Calcifer, I think. Oh, losing the back end. Where are you, Tim? He's going to come out just behind Calcifer, I think. He's going to be side by side. Actually, he comes out just in front of Calcifer. Really good stuff. In fact, though, Calcifer, even if he came out behind Calcifer, Calcifer would have let him through just because of title reason. But here we go. FormulaDani 1.6 seconds down on Photon now. But Williams-Tim will have to do 13 laps on the ultra soft tyres, which is a fair amount of laps. Let's just say that it's a fair amount of laps, and FormulaDani should have the advantage and should be able to get past Tim in the latter stages of the race. Even if in like 3 laps time FormulaDani pitted, he should be able to do it. But Williams-Tim on those ultra softs, we'll have to see how this goes now. At the minute he's 14 seconds down, so we're going to have to see his closing speed. But here we go, Donoso into the pits, and Photon may actually follow him in. But let's take a look. Nope, not this lap. And let's see what kind of lap time Photon can get off. It's a 38.3, and it's a 37.7 again from Dani. So Dani being super consistent right now. Muller right on the tail of Myler as well. So let's sit on board with this. FormulaDani's going to get past Photon, but he's just going to literally drive past him. Hayes is into the pits. And actually, let's move up here, because FormulaDani is going to get past Photon, I'm sure, in a second, and he'll take the race lead, but it's only a provisional, as Hayes has picked up his 4th time penalty. One more could essentially just gift Calcifer the championship. So here we go. Photon will leave it on the outside, and FormulaDani will move down the inside and take the lead of the Grand Prix. Myler and Muller, though, Muller has got the exit through turn 7 and is just going to go through with the help of DRS as he approaches turn 8. So good stuff there. Muller up into 8th place, and he's now going to be on the hunt for Black Panther, who has actually, all credit to Black Panther, he's pulled away massively from Myler. Black Panther, if he gets a 6 and Myler finishes outside the points, he will jump Myler in the championship, which is starting to look possible with the penalties from Hayes. And in fact, there may be a penalty coming through for Tim post-race, as Tim picks up his 2nd 3-second time penalty of the Grand Prix. But he set the fastest lap of the race. Photon's in the pits, as is Calcifer actually. As Muller picks up a 3-second time penalty. Let's write that down. That's his 2nd time penalty so far. And where is Photon going to feed out? I think he's going to come out just ahead of Hayes actually. And Hayes has done 1 lap on those tyres, so Hayes and Photon will be battling for that 4th place spot. Calcifer going to come out behind Muller by a fair bit, but he is on fresher tyres and he will be able to get to the end of the race. So he should be able to beat Muller and jump ahead of Black Panther. So Calcifer is in good position to actually pick up 6th place right now. Donoso's taking a time penalty. we are seeing the exact same situation that we saw in Mexico. Donoso chasing down FormulaDani at the end of the race. Donoso with a 3-second time penalty. Will it go to the final lap of the race once again? Only time will tell. But yeah, Calcifer, once he gets past Muller and Black Panther, he'll be in 6th. He'll need to gain 2 places. He could jump ahead of Hayes. Hayes has 12 seconds of time penalties, and as it stands, he is 14 seconds down. So he's looking at, so he could get a 5th as it stands, Calcifer, depending on how quick Hayes is. But FormulaDani may only get a 2nd, and if he gets a 2nd, Calcifer just needs his 8th, which is where he is at the minute. So it's very, very tense. It's a very, very tense final stint of this final race for ORL Season 10. Let's put it like this, I don't think there's ever been a closer end to the championship than what we're going to see tonight. I think the closest we've seen before was like 10 points or something, but this is going to be much closer. But Calcifer right on the tail of Muller. Hopefully he will drive into the back of him through turn 3. And here we go, will Muller get in the way? Well, he's holding him up a little bit, but it's not that bad. Muller, he's just going to take his racing line. Calcifer, I think he may have got a warning for that, you know. But here we go, Calcifer, he's got the DRS. Surely he's going to make this work and move up into 7th place. Oh, Muller tried to squeeze him, thought Calcifer wasn't as close. There's more contact. Calcifer down the inside, Muller trying his hardest. There's more contact. Calcifer's been forced out wide. If he picks up a penalty, he may get cancelled at the end of the race. But here we go, Muller. None of them have DRS. What's going on? Did they literally cross at the same time? But there you go, Calcifer down the inside into turn 11. And he'll get it to work. Muller's diving it down the inside. What are these scenes? As Calcifer will take the position. I'm not sure if he'll get a penalty for overtaking off the track. I mean, I think it was fine the move that he did, but there we go. I think Muller just frustrated the fact that he's unable to race with Calcifer because Tim drove into the back of him. Possibly slightly unfair from Muller, but all's well that ends well, as they say. But Calcifer, he's down he lost a good 2-3 seconds from that. In fact, let's check the race director. So, drivers, where are you, Calcifer? That last lap he did a 54.9. Yeah, 54.9. No. Okay, he did a 39.2, so he lost about a second. As Muller's left the session. Has Muller crashed? He has! He's done it! He's lost it on the exit of turn 3. Hayes has got his 5th penalty. Hayes is disqualified. Hang on, Fixer. I don't like you anymore. I like Marc Marquez. Marc Marquez is a great driver, right? And Marc Marquez his overtakes are insane, okay? If you don't like what Marc Marquez does, that means you don't like what Rossi did either. But Donoso's picked up another time penalty, as has Calcifer. So this is actually crazy scenes here. But Muller, like, going back to the MotoGP thing, I think the only time Marc Marquez did an unfair overtake was probably Argentina last year, where he ever so slightly rammed Rossi. But I kind of found it justice for what Rossi did to Marquez in Malaysia. But there you go. And I think Marquez might have done it on purpose ever so slightly. But yeah. I'm surprised you didn't say the Verstappen. But Muller out of the Grand Prix. He'll probably turn up in the chat in a bit. I'd like to ask him what he was doing with the dive from Calcifer. But Calcifer 18 seconds down on Hayes. And he needs to close in as much as he can. Hayes has been disqualified anyways. 15 seconds worth of time penalty. There's a yellow flag in between sector 1 and 2. I'm not sure what that was before. But Donoso closing in on FormulaDani. We've got 7 laps remaining, so Donoso will have to get past Danny and pull 6 seconds. I don't think Donoso can do that. Let's take a look at how much Donoso is actually closing in onto Danny at the minute. And that'll give us a good idea. But Hayes and Photon battling for 4th at the minute. So a 38-1 from Danny as Hayes picks up a 37-2. So almost a sec. Was it a second? I forgot. Hey, okay, cool. I forgive you. Don't say stuff about my man Mark Marquez, all right? But Tim has picked up another time penalty. That's 9 seconds worth of time penalties. But we have a battle on for 4th place. Actually, when's someone going to get lapped? So Toffee's actually about to get lapped by FormulaDani, but I don't want to miss this battle. I know R7 wants me to see people getting lapped, but Hayes is closing in on Photon. So just in case something happens, because he's very close, and we may see a dive bomb heading into turn 11. Okay, he's too far back, as Toffee will get well out of the way of FormulaDani. And Hayes right on the tail of Photon. Now, if these guys battle, if Photon gets taken out, Calcifer wins the championship. As it stands, Calcifer wins the championship if Photon gets taken out. As it stands, Calcifer doesn't win the championship because Calcifer's only going to get 5th. But Fabrizio is closing in every lap. 38.3, 36.8, 1.5 seconds on that last lap. Fabrizio is going to be on the tail of FormulaDani by the end of the next lap. Yeah, okay, so Muller's here. Muller, we've got a question for you. What was that dive bomb on Calcifer? Also, hang on, before I say that, I'm really sorry about what happened to you when Tim ran into the back of you, because that was just, that wrecked your race, and I'm really sorry that happened to you. And I kind of understand that you were probably frustrated that you weren't battling with Calcifer, but what was that dive bomb? Yeah, you give us a good race. You gave us a great race in Brazil and a great race here. If you want, you can join me on the commentary team. Actually, Hayes is closing in onto Photon as 4th position, picks up a 3-second time penalty. That doesn't affect anything too much. But here we go, Hayes getting very, very close onto Photon. Calcifer, I'm not sure if he's actually closing in. 18.5 second gap. 18.5 second gap to Hayes at the minute, so let's see if he can close that down. And here we go, with the DRS, he's going to get right onto the back of Photon once again. Maybe next lap he can have a go. Both these guys have practically exactly the same tyre wear, as Photon picks up his 1st time penalty of the Grand Prix. But Hayes super close to Photon. Or almost. I'm surprised. Tyres overheating all race fair. I'm surprised no one has run into the wall on the exit of turn 19, because so many people did that in qualifying and in practice. Maybe not. I think Donoso went into it in qualifying, but that was it. Oh, Photon has a massive moment, I think. Will he lose the back end to you? No, it's all good. But Donoso only 1.3 seconds down on FormulaDani. 5 laps remaining, and don't forget Donoso has 6 seconds worth of time penalty. This could all change if Danny picks up 1 penalty. But as it stands, it's looking good for FormulaDani to take the championship. Calcifer is going to pick up 5th because Hayes has 5 time penalties, so he will get disqualified. Also, Black Panther in 6th, so if Myler DNFs, Black Panther will jump him in the standings and take 10th place. As, we're seeing a bit of ghosting, and Hayes is going to move down the inside of a Photon. Will he be able to make the move work though? Yes, he will. And is Photon now ghosting? No, Photon's having some serious things. Hayes picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's his 6th of the race. So that's 18 seconds worth. But yeah, there you go. Hayes picks up the position. But Photon's very, very close. We're going to stick on board here. But watch out for Hayes and Photon. The desyncing may cause an incident. Hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully, well, Calcifer will be hoping it happens. It's so close between these two. What do we watch? Photon, Hayes, Donoso, FormulaDani. It has to be Donoso, FormulaDani. But here we go. We have got 4 laps remaining. We're on lap 25 of 28 and everything's heating up. Fabrizio Donoso, after starting second, as he's closed FormulaDani, but the 6 seconds worth of time penalties could prove really, really vital. And I think Danny may actually, is he going to go for it? Oh, what am I doing? Stop giving me bad camera angles. FormulaDani actually holds the position. Donoso can't hold it around the outside into turn 8. Photon. Oh, Photon's too far back. Donoso, can you have a look? No, he can't. Photon's too far back from Hayes. We're just going to keep on switching between these guys. And here he goes. He's looking for the inside. Is there going to be contact? No contact as of yet. But Williams' temp is closing in as well. Both of these guys have 6 seconds worth of time penalties though. And I guess this corner here, turn 14, is a good opportunity to make a dive bomb, but we'll have to see if it ever happens. Here we go, Donoso right on the tail. 3 laps remaining now. And don't forget, Donoso has 6 seconds worth of time penalty, so FormulaDani could just let Donoso and Tim through and he would still win the race. So if he's looking at it for a championship perspective, that's what he should do. But regardless of that, I doubt he will do it. What about Photon? He's too far back from Hayes. Hayes slowly pulling further and further away. Can Donoso do it this time round? Both of them with a bit of losing the back end on the exit. But here we go. 3 laps from the end of the Grand Prix. FormulaDani goes super defensive and can... Oh, Donoso's going to try to hold it around the outside this time. He's going to do it, but FormulaDani will get DRS for the second DRS zone. Can he do anything round the outside? He's going to fight for all his worth. Let's look at it from Tim's perspective. Side by side. Oh, there's a bit of contact. FormulaDani, is he going to get forced out wide? He's holding it around the outside of turn 14. Crazy stuff from FormulaDani. Now this is where Tim and FormulaDani had that coming together in AOR. And Tim's going to go down the inside of Fabrizio Donoso. And FormulaDani trying his utmost just to hold these guys behind. And he's doing a fantastic job so far. But he's got, as he crosses the line this time round, there are going to be 2 laps remaining. Can he hold off for Fabrizio for another 2 laps? Donoso is going to go for the inside into turn 1. Can FormulaDani hold it? No, he can't. He has been forced to yield the position and Donoso will reclaim the lead of the Grand Prix. But Danny has the win with time penalties. Here we go. Williams' Tim is going to have DRS. If there's contact between these two. I don't know what just happened to my sound. Why is... Can you guys hear sound? I don't know why my sound... Okay, my sound's glitching out. Hang on, let me just alt-tab really quickly. Okay, apparently it's working for you guys. That's all that matters. Right, here we go. FormulaDani's actually might have a go at Donoso. He's really close. They're approaching Black Panther as well. Williamson getting so close to the back of Danny. 1 lap remaining when they cross the line. And Donoso, I highly doubt he can pull a 6-second gap. Photon and Hayes still battling. Anything can happen there. We're going to have to see. This is going to go right down to the wire. Because if Photon crashes out, I'm not jinxing it, but if he does, Calcifer will win. If it stays as it is, FormulaDani wins. Oh, here we go. Tim down the inside into the final corner. And he's going to make it work. Tim up into second place. But penalties will come into play at the end of all of this. And FormulaDani will end up taking the win regardless, as Weebs picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's 9 seconds worth. But it's all fine at the end of the day. And my sound is starting to come back. Calcifer has a 3-second time penalty. Will that affect anything? No, it won't. And as it stands, FormulaDani is going to win the championship. As Black Panther picks up a 3-second time penalty, that could be important. That's 9 seconds of time penalties for him. Myla has 3, so Myla will still finish behind Panther as it stands, unless he can close in 3 seconds. But here we go, FormulaDani, he's got DRS on tip. He may have a cheeky little look. I don't think he's going to go for it though. Just sit tight, take third, FormulaDani. You've got your lasagna waiting for you, I'm sure. He's right on the tail of Timp. And FormulaDani has left the session. What is going on? Donoso has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. As long as FormulaDani doesn't lose 2.5 seconds through these final corners, it will be fine. But he's going to lose it. He's 5 seconds down on Timp as it stands. It's going to be so close. He loses it by half a second. Calcifer, you're going to be world champion. You're going to have it for 3 years running. He's got it. Calcifer's going to win the title. What happened to FormulaDani at the end? Has he just... Calcifer will take 6th place and will take the ORL Season 10 Championship along with him. What about Black Panther though? He's coming around the final couple of corners. He's got 6 seconds of time penalties more. Photon will take 3rd as well, but Black Panther, he picks up a time penalty through the final corner. And Myla is going to jump ahead of him. What on earth? Myla takes 7th, Black Panther, no. But there you go, Calcifer wins the championship. That is actually crazy, crazy ending. He's just messaged me asking me if he won. Yes. You got it, baby. Sebastian Vettel, you are world champion. He's literally just found me in the chat. Congratulations, Calcifer. Well done. Well done. I'm kind of speechless from what happened to FormulaDani at the end though. But there you go. Fabrizio Donoso will finally pick up a race win in ORL. And deservedly so. He probably should have got one in Brazil. But there you have it. I feel like FormulaDani had the championship, and I'm not sure if he let Calcifer take it or not. We'll have to ask him. I don't know, but there you go. And just for confirmation then, Fabrizio Donoso takes the win, half a second ahead of FormulaDani after FormulaDani disconnected. Photon takes 3rd ahead of Williams Timp, who had 9 seconds worth of time penalties. Hayes will take 5th place. Calcifer in 6th is enough to see him take the championship. Myla in 7th jumps ahead of Black Panther after Panther picked up a penalty on the final corner, and actually that's going to see Panther get disqualified, so Elsinger will move up into 8th. Weebs picks up a 9th place in his final race of the season, and pole position will take the final point Actually, no, Toffee takes the final point because Hayes will get disqualified as well with 7 penalties. But there you have it, the final results from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here, here at the Yas Marina circuit. Now, I've been told that there's going to be a formation lap, something to end the season. That's why everyone is still in the lobby, so we'll wait for that to happen. You know what? Calcifer, you're the champion!
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do you know what happened right at the end of the race, by the way?
Like, what is this? I mean...
I'm sorry, Danny. I'm sorry, Danny. I'm sorry, Danny.
What happened, Danny?
I feel you. Sorry.
That was crazy. Yeah, it's... Oh. My mic muted again.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I had to leave a video and that was a weird ending. Yeah. Sorry, Danny. How
Can't say anything about
did it
that.
just happen, or was it when
No, like Steam lost connection, full Steam lost connection. Funny thing is that I never have such things. Like,
yeah.
In this year, I think this was the first time when it really mattered. Like, I don't know what have I done against the world now, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
I had one single warning. I fought very strategically, letting Tino and Fab also pass in the last lap only to finish very confidently.
Yeah.
3 seconds and 9 seconds behind. So.
Because if you had lost connection one corner late, oh god, it keeps moving.
It's funny.
Sorry. My mic keeps doing that muting thing. But if you had lost connection one corner later, you would have still won the race. It was that close.
I mean, that's 100% for me at least. Like, I mean, I had one single warning, so there is nearly no chance that I got to another one just in the last sector. And
the funny thing is, if you hadn't disconnected, you guys would have finished tied on points, which would have been an amazing end to the season. But
yeah, but I had more wins.
yeah, exactly. So you would have got the championship. But that's just...
I'm really sorry, Danny.
I just don't understand. Like, I literally never have such things, but this time it happened.
So is this formation lap thing for the end of the race happening then, or?
Stupid corner cut penalty. A very stupid one.
Right, so are we doing the formation lap or are we going straight to interviews?
Not sure what will happen.
I think we'll do the interviews and then
Yeah, they said,
we'll do the lap. Yeah, but
interviews.
let's make it fast if we can.
Okay, right, we'll start off with the race winner, Fabrizio. another race win. No, that's your first race win, or at least first race win even after penalties. Similar situations to Mexico. So I'm sure you had Mexico in your mind when you were closing up to Danny. How was that fight at the end with Danny then?
Well, first of all, congrats to Danny. We did a clean race. He should have won. Well, Tino was close behind. But yeah, I knew that my pace was really good in the race. By the way, he did an amazing lap in quali again. But I knew that in the race it would be way closer. I was faster in the first stint, or maybe he let me pass to use my tires more. But I knew it would be very close at the end, and it was. He defended pretty well. I was expecting to do the overtake. Actually, on the first lap I got the DRS, but he managed to hold me up like 2 or 3 laps maybe. So congrats to him for that. He did an amazing job. Then I managed to overtake him, and yeah, that was pretty much it. I knew that he will probably win the race because of my penalties. I got 2 stupid warnings on the last stint, which make me take the penalties. But anyways, my pace was very good. The strategy was perfect, and yeah, that's a very good way to end the season.
I think you're muted.
Yeah. Sorry,
No,
it keeps muting. So like whenever you finish talking, I have to leave the lobby and then come back in. But yeah, a great race from yourself, and no, really well done to win the final race of the season. I can't say the usual stuff about like next race and all of that, but congratulations on winning the race, and hopefully we'll see you next season then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we have all these amazing drivers again, I'm pretty sure we'll be again a good season.
Okay, cheers. FormulaDani, right.
I'm here.
I promised that I'd say something during qualifying. I said during qualifying, before you did it, I said if you got a 31, I would say that you were the best esports driver that ever lived. So FormulaDani, you're the best esports driver that ever lived.
Thank you very much.
How do you do a 131? Like, where would that even land you in time trials? Because that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I really like qualifying. Especially, I have to do a few improvements on my race pace, that's for sure. But I really like doing 1 laps. And yes, I think I showed it on esports with very consistent results, in AOR as well with very consistent qualifying results. And here too, fortunately, that I am able to do very good laps on quali, and I hope to keep that momentum throughout any game I play. But as I told, I am not a perfect driver, and I still have a lot of things to learn, and there is always pace to improve in battling, in close wheel-to-wheel action, in race pace. So for that I push as hard as I can, and today it worked out like that, and I'm happy about it.
For the race itself, in hindsight, do you think the 1-stop strategy was the way to go, or would you have done a 2-stop strategy if you go back now?
I would have done a 1-stop strategy. It was totally under control. My first stint could have been a bit better, but I just focused on not getting any penalties because, no offense, but Feb Racer is not the best player in terms of penalties, but actually today he did a massive improvement on his statistic, and it was a very nice and clean racing for him, so congratulations. But Tino also got penalties, and I was aware of that full second stint, and I knew that I need to defend about 2 laps, which I luckily did. I saved up ERS and fuel to be able to do that. It was a very fair and very close fight, and I loved every single moment of it. And afterwards I was just within the safe 3 and 9 seconds, at the end, like I was one point half, and I absolutely disconnected, and I just I just feel really unfortunate at this moment, and I have no words to it. Like I missed about 8 races this championship, or even 9, and I fought very hard to be in that position to fight until the last one, and to just lose a championship that I feel like I would deserve is not a nice feeling. But of course, world is not always fair, and I will bounce back in one of the next games, I guess.
Yeah, it's a shame because you yourself and Calcifer, you've done so well this season, and then for it to get determined by that, it's a bit off. But that's anyway. But yeah, unlucky. A great race from yourself anyway, and we look forward to seeing you back for season 11 in F1 2019.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I was a bit like off.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Tim, are you ready?
Yes. Hello.
Hey. That looked like a fun first stint, and especially those last couple of laps. Just talk us through the race in general from your perspective.
Well, I didn't have the pace today. Like, I don't know, the first stint I was able to keep up with Fabrizio and Danny, and I knew my strategy. So on the second stint, I don't know, my pace died. Like, Fabrizio was so much faster than me, and well, yeah, and as well I was getting way too many penalties, which I not usually do, but yeah, I don't know, like I didn't do like that much practice. I just do a little bit quality practice.
Can't hear him. Can you hear him?
Yeah.
What? Hello.
Oh,
yeah.
He muted me. I can't hear Tim at all.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, sorry for interrupting then.
Oh, no,
okay, sorry for interrupting. Literally, I can't hear him speaking at all.
But yeah,
okay.
my
sorry.
second stint was alright, I guess. Then Fabrizio was like 3 seconds ahead of when I pitted, and I kind of knew that him and Danny is gonna battle, so I was trying to keep it close to them, and yeah, and then like maybe if there's like a battle, like I can get like a finish per P1, but obviously I had so many penalties, so I just wanted to like have a nice battle, and yeah, that's really
a good race from yourself. You managed to get second on the road. It's a shame about the penalties that demoted you
yeah.
to fourth. But yeah, thanks of course for racing, and I look forward to seeing you in season 11.
Yeah, obviously. Also congrats for Calcifer winning the title, and Fabrizio winning today. So yeah, thanks. See you on season 11.
Thanks.
Right. Well, next up, go on then. Come on in, Calcifer.
Yes. I don't want to celebrate because
yeah, I
know what happened.
Yeah. But how was that race in your perspective? Because you had the battle with Muller that was going on. You had an entertaining wheel-to-wheel battle with Muller. Go on, talk us through that.
Yeah, I didn't want to take risk, and he was really aggressive because he pushed me like 3 times off and touched my rear once, and it was really aggressive by him, and I lost much time by it, and yeah, in the end I didn't push so much, so I knew I have to come in to the end, and yeah.
How did you find?
I wouldn't catch them anymore.
How did you find your pace just generally through qualifying and race? Like if the likes of G3 didn't retire, do you reckon you could have beaten him? Maybe
not.
Well,
I was lucky that he retired actually, a bit. I had a lot of luck today, so.
Well, regardless of that, congrats on winning the championship. I know it's almost in bad taste, but congrats, and of course to winning Constructors' Championship, which I forgot all about until.
Oh yes, so, that's a bonus.
Good job. Will you be going for 4 in a row then next year?
I don't think I can if there's guys like Danny and Fabrizio and Tim and so on.
We'll get Danny to only go in half the races. That's Danny's challenge, right?
Let's see.
Right. Well, congrats, and see you in season 11, of course.
Yep. See you.
Right. Myla next, actually. Are you there?
Yeah.
Cool. Let me just turn you up a tad. Right. Well, you were able to defend your 10th place spot from Black Panther. Was it a fun race in the end?
Yeah, it was a really fun race. My start was not the best, but I just tried to have no damage and yeah, manage the race. And in the end, I was just lucky that Black Panther had too much penalties. But I had so much pity things in this season, so one time for me I had luck. So yeah, it was a great race.
A good job, because you came out of the pits, I think, just in front of Panther, and then he found a way
Yeah.
through. So that looked like an entertaining battle as well for a bit.
Yeah, it was really close, this moment. I was so glad about in this moment that I was in front of him. And then I had the DRS failure, so that in this moment was the baddest thing what can happen. So yeah, but in the end I had luck, so everything is fine.
Well, congratulations on, let me just double check that, you were in 10th. Actually, congratulations on 9th place in the championship, because you moved ahead of Muller after he had the DNF. So congrats on that.
Right, 6.
Cool.
So
Right.
that shows fight over to the end.
There you go. There you go. Well, congrats again, and we look forward to seeing you in season 11.
Yeah, see you soon.
Right, Panther, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
What did you do through the final 2 corners? What did you do?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You,
Oh, I
you had
felt
the
so
position.
stupid.
Uh,
Yeah, but thing is, I had wing damage on lap 27.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I lost the back end. So, and then I had a warning, so I had a 3-second penalty again.
Right.
And then, literally at 2 corners before the end, I did the slightest track limit thing.
Right.
And then I had the 3-second corner, and I was like, oh my god, no. I can't get disqualified after this. I had 6 seconds or 9 seconds penalties. I think so. I had to stay more than 6 seconds in
It
front
was
of
6
me. Like,
seconds at that point.
yeah.
No, it
And
was
then
9.
it-
It was
it-
9 at that point.
It all went down at those last laps. It was so fucked up. Sorry for swearing, but
Oh,
yeah.
that's fine, don't worry. Right. I'll put a big beep in front of it. Penalty.
Oh, but man, I had so much fun battling with all those guys.
It looked like a really good race. I'm trying to remember, because you had, of course, a battle with Myla, but did you not also have a battle with someone else in the race?
I had a battle with my teammate, with Elsinga. Yeah, the guys who were doing a one-stop strategy, so I had to overtake them as well. And also in the beginning with Calcifer and Muller fighting very hard as well. So I was like, should I overtake them or not? But I backed out of it. So yeah.
Fair enough. I'm kind of losing my track. By the way, Reeves says that he loves everyone, and he says congrats to Calcifer. By the way.
We love you too.
Right. So again, right.
Won't he be joining?
He can't join. It just says that he's connecting, but he can't actually fully join.
Alright, yeah.
Right. Sorry. Let me just gather my thoughts for a second. Hang on.
Don't end the stream and let's go for a parade lap.
Yeah. 2 seconds. I've still got toffee.
Yep.
Good job, Black Panther, and see you in season 11. That's what I meant to say, but I took 2 minutes to
Yeah.
say it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very
Right.
much.
And Toffee, I think we've got another champion to crown, don't we? If your mic's working or not. It would appear that it's not. Well,
I think he needs to restart because his mic is red.
just in general, to put it out there, Toffee wins the Fair Driver Challenge with 4 penalties, unless you got 1 in this race. So on that note, let's end the interview. So we'll be doing parade lap then. Hello? Right.
See ya, Photon.
See you, Danny.
Now, guys. I head off now. Bye bye.
Right.
Bye bye.
See you, Danny.
I will write you Feb something.
Enjoy your lasagna, Danny.
Alright, guys. I'll go off too.
Alright. Good job for Ritzio, and congrats on the win.
Thank you. Thanks again for inviting me to this league.
Well, it wasn't me, so... But thanks for joining, thanks for joining.
Thank you. Bye bye, guys. See you soon.
Ciao. Oh. Right. Right, are we doing the parade lap thing then? Oh. Right. In fact, I'm just going to leave the lobby entirely, so see you guys. Alright guys, well that's that. So we're going to be going for a parade lap in just a second, if it actually comes through. Shall I join? Shall I join the, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll stream it, I'll stream it. Oh, right, it's been a long day. Usually we're finished by this point, but... Wait, am I not already in the... I'm already there. Oh. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the race anyway. I do believe entries for Season 11 are being taken in now, so if anyone does plan on buying F1 2019 and wants to race in the season, do let us know and we'll add you in. Oh, it would appear that we may not have enough people for the thingy. Right. So if we want to do donuts right, we have to get a setup. We've got to take like 11 front wing and 0 rear wing, and then we've got to do some other stuff to our like the F6. Wait, how do I change settings in this? Correct players, assists. Wait, hang on. What are the settings? I can't change settings, can I? Okay, thank you Calcifer for making me lobby. Right. I don't know why. Yeah, I didn't have host options. I have host options now. That's weird. There you go. Right. Oy, here we are. Spectate. There we go. Wait, who is this guy? Who is he? What is he doing here? Okay, looks like we're about to go anyway. Oh. Oh, I can't believe it's over. I can't believe the championship's over. Wow, that's... Right. I don't know what to talk about while waiting for this. Yeah, so there you have it. Your championship winner is Mr. Calcifer, who takes his third consecutive title. Let me just double check that. So he's won season 10, he won season 9, and season 8 was his first season, I believe. Yes, season 8 was his first season. Season 7? No, he wasn't in it in season 7. So yeah, 3-time champion. There you go. I remember back at the start of the season where you had Crow, Muster White Lilac, Mark Chrisman battling with Calcifer, and it looked like it'd be a battle between those four, and then eventually they just stopped turning up to some of the races, or Crow started having issues and started being unable to attend races. And then FormulaDani came along back in Austria, and then we had the greatest race of the season between him and Williams Isaac, and he managed to pick up that win. To be fair, the championship probably did come down to, even if we don't include that the disconnect from FormulaDani, he did have the thing in Germany where he had fun with his Velocity teammates rather than just taking the win. And so he could have gained 10 points there. Of course, Brazil, that was an unfortunate error from him. Monza, kind of, but to be honest, FormulaDani has had impeccable form. Calcifer has got, I guess, a little bit lucky at races with the number of DNFs that happened in front of him. Especially, I think the race that really turned this around, that gave Calcifer the championship, was Russia. Because he was running in like 9th, and then there were a series of incidents, a safety car, and all of a sudden he was in 3rd or 2nd, and that's the race that I think cost FormulaDani. If FormulaDani had won, then it probably would have been down to the Calcifer VP Mark incident all the way back in Canada, actually. But the session is about to start, and we're going to be going to witness some donuts. And then we shall end with Weebs' YouTube video, and that would be it for season 10. I don't know when I'll be able to see you beautiful people again for season 11. It may be a wait. We may do some stuff in between season 10 and season 11 in terms of like dirt rally project cars, or maybe just like a short F1 2018 season. I don't know. We've still got about 3-4 months to go before F1 2019 even comes out. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to see something particular, then of course drop a message, and maybe we'll be able to sort that stuff out. Also, I should probably say hi to everyone who messaged. So hello AOR Rainer, Mr. Anchor, Richard Gonda, and AZGTI. How y'all doing? Right, here we go. Right, so Reeves is going to go right to the front of this, I believe. Right. Oh wait, hang on, guys! Don't go yet. I forgot. Open volume mixer. Turn the game sound up. There we go. Right. Okay. I forgot I need the game sound for interviews. Right. Oh. Elsinger, you've got a 5-second penalty. That 3-second penalty. That's disgusting. Learn how to drive. That is despicable. I see Calcifer going for a really wide line. I'd love if someone crashes out on this formation lap. That'd be hilarious. Oh. Wow, the stream's actually really far behind. I reckon they should just all hit the back of each other, lose their front wings. Then they've got less downforce at the front, so it'll be easier to... Actually, no. It'll be harder, yeah. Or it's contact to the back between pole position and FormulaDani. I don't know how to commentate on this, right? I'm used to commentating on racing, even practice. This I'm kind of confused. You could be like, and there, it's Black Panther, Calcifer in the Renault that won the Constructors' Championship. It's like when you commentate on this, you've got to like really drag things out, but I don't have material ready for this. Are we doing 3 laps of formation or just 1 lap of formation and then loads of donuts? Oh, look at that, Calcifer with the fastest lap. See, even when they're doing formation laps, Calcifer just has to get that fastest lap in. But it's a good send-off, I think, this for season 10. Like, it's actually kind of sad that we've got nothing for such a while now. But yeah, that's just how it is. Can they do 1 lap in reverse going around the track? I mean, I know Black Panther's really good at that because we did some practice in online racing where we just went in reverse. So you got 2 Haas's, you got 2 Renaults, but those are the only doubles that you have out there. Whereas Calcifer, oh, okay, right, they've lost. Calcifer's blasted it? Oh no, he's slowing back down. Look at that, Calcifer with another fastest lap. Oh look, they've got DRS now. There we go, here it is. The donuts to round out Season 10. FormulaDani got pole position, pulling off a few. And of course, Weebs for his final level race, or almost contact there. They're all ghosting right now, this is brilliant. But there you have it. There's more contact. Oh! Okay, right, they turned on ghosting, thank God for that. If there wasn't ghosting, this could have ended really, really badly. Anyone still doing donuts? Hey, Paul's still doing the donuts, but there you have it. Those are the donuts to round out Season 10, guys. Oh, we've entered the second donut zone. Are you ready for some more donuts? Where is everyone? Okay, let's sit on board. It's your champion, Calcifer, putting off some shit. Oh. Why couldn't we have the ghosting off? This would have been brilliant. Oh, Elsinger, 2-second time penalty for making collisions. I'm disappointed in you. I thought you were a good driver. There you have it. Overtaking under yellows and penalties. What is going on right now? We're having donuts to round out Season 10. Because it's the end of Season 10 and I'm not sure if we're going to have any more content until Season 11. So everyone's doing donuts to vent their frustration that they've got no racing until Season 11 in June when F1 2019 comes out. We may have some races, so maybe Project Cars or Dirt Rally or some stuff like that might be coming through. But we're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, it's just the donuts. The donuts of doom. Speaking of that, what are your favourite donuts, guys? I like good old sugar ring donuts. Maybe some Krispy Kreme donuts. Right, let's take on board with FormulaDani for some donuts. Oh, there you go. See, these guys should have got a setup going. They 100% should have got a setup going. You should have had a practice, retired from the practice. Oh, what was that from Calcifer? That was an insane donut. That was just like a massive 720 spin. And look at this guy. Imagine if you saw this in the actual race itself. FormulaDani and Calcifer were having a face-off. Hey, there it is. Who's reversing? Who's reversing? I mean, pretty good donuts, I think. A successful donut day. I want to see more reversing though. Oh, he catches it midway through and lets him drift through. It has to be donuts until your tires explode, guys. It must be so easy to do donuts right now. Oh, look at them. They're leaving Emilia behind. Fair enough. But yeah. Elsinger gets a penalty for illegal blocking. What on earth was he doing? I need some tires to explode, guys. Oh, that was a nice one. Oh, catch it! Oh, you touched the barrier. I feel like... Oh wow, some guys still haven't started lap 4. Ooh, that was a nice one, Panther. Wait, no, it wasn't Panther, it was Paul. Oh, drifting. Oh. Where's the tyre blowing up? Oh, look at the fish tailing. Oh, look at the contact. I guess ghosting isn't on. Okay. I'm just trying to think how much more of the donuts do we have to do. Oh, look at the horses. A little bit of contact. Just ram into the back of him. Just do it. Wait, hang on. So 8th is down here and Calcifer's over here. I feel like the grid has really spread out. FormulaDani got a penalty for exceeding track limits. That's impressive. Are they going to come back in formation for the final lap? Oh, he catches it. Oh, that's cheating, Panther. Go in and reverse out. There we go, there are the Pro Donuts. Why are those guys out there with the flipping board things? That is actually a really nice sight, the donuts coming through. There you have it, guys, the donuts to end off around round 21, or to end off season 10 in general. Wow. Go on, go 4 abreast, go 4 abreast. That's a good idea. The whole grid abreast going down this back straight. In reverse as well. Oh, they crossed the finish line, it's dead even. I think everyone should cross the finish line at the same time just to see how close it gets. Oh wait, Black Panther's on wet tyres. Oh, clever Panther. Oh, that's why he's doing it. He's doing it for the donuts. Put your DRS. Yeah, now you can do your donut. Just ram into the back of someone. Do it. But here we go for the final lap of the Donut Grand Prix. Can we call it the Donut Grand Prix? I feel like that's a suitable name for this. Oh, look at the understeer Panther's getting. Oh, the back end. Oh, incident! Oh, the ghosting's coming through. But there he is, your man of the hour. Well, him and Calcifer, I guess, but Weaves' final race. There we go. Calcifer gonna let Weaves through. I would imagine. And there you go, they're going to come round the final corner to end the Donut Grand Prix. Calcifer picks up a 3-second time penalty. And illegal blocking. Oh, he gets a shot from behind, but there you go. Reeves will cross the line. He won for his final ever race in the Donut Grand Prix. I feel like we should have a Donut Grand Prix more often. Right, that means that I can close down F1 2018 now. Right guys, that has been it. That has been round 10. Oh, wait, hang on.